What is going on, everybody, and welcome on into the video. Today we are talking about how to short stocks on the MooMoo platform. Okay, so in this video, we're going to walk you through exactly what you need to know if you're looking to short a stock on MooMoo. We already have videos of how to do this on Webull, so after this video, if you want to learn how to do it on Webull, we already have a tutorial-based video going through a live example on the channel already. But it's great to take advantage of both ups and downs. So if you think a stock is going to go down, well, you can take advantage of shorting the stock. And in many cases, this may be more appealing than buying puts to bet on the stock to go down, because you don't have to worry about time decay and you can just deal with shares. And for many people, it's easier to say, okay, well, I'm going to short one share. If the stock goes down $2, I'm going to make $2 when I buy it back for $2 cheaper. And so that's essentially what you're doing. You're borrowing shares now to ultimately buy back at a later date, whether that's today, tomorrow, the next day, next month, next year. That's what you're doing. You're ultimately borrowing now to buy back later. So we are on my iPad right now. We're going to do it on the iPad. I think it's probably the easiest way to see things. This way I can kind of put this up on half the screen and we can kind of show you guys exactly what it's going to look like. But it's very, very similar, whether you're on the desktop platform, the mobile app, a lot of the same features you'll be able to find just as easy. So there will be slight subtleties, but if you want us to make videos on different platforms, whether that's the mobile app, whether that's the desktop platform, let us know in the comments down below. We can do that, but hopefully this will give you all you need to know so that you can find exactly where to go on those different apps or platforms or whatever, which is very, very similar. So first things first, we are going to need a stock. So I'm going to look up any random stock. And in this case, I'm going to use Tesla because it's the #1 ranked stock, I guess, on the app, at least as of right now. So ticker symbol TSLA. Now we're inside of the detailed quotes page. Now, this is where I'm going to go because this is going to tell us exactly the information we need to short Tesla. So right off the bat, we have a lot of information. We have the current price, the high, the low, all that good stuff. We have time in sales scrolling across our screen. We have the stock chart right here. I can customize these things if I really wanted to, but I don't need to, at least as of right now. I have the bid, the ask, I have level 2 right here, and if you scroll down, there's even more information deeper into the app or deeper onto the page here for Tesla. And of course, there's more stuff we can look across the top, whether that's comments, news, analysis, options, data. We have financial data, summaries, all that good stuff. But we're going to stay on the quote page because right here on the quote page is going to tell us what we need to know. And you may ask, how do you find what we need to know? And how do we know if we can even short Tesla? Let's dive into it. So on the quote page, up in the top right, you see how there's a bunch of symbols? We have an American flag, a little lightning bolt, dollar, symbol right there, a little chart going down, and a heart. If I click on those symbols, it's going to open them up in a broader view, okay? Now, what we need to see is when I click on those symbols up in the top right of any stock, we need to see the orange shortable button. So that orange shortable symbol right here is what we want to see. If it's there, we probably can short the stock, but let's find out if we can for sure. So I'm going to click on the orange shortable icon. It's now going to take me to this page. So we have a margin option, or it tells you how much you can essentially go out on margin to buy Tesla. But under the shortable section is what I really want to know. Okay, so what it's going to tell me right here, it's going to tell me two key things. Okay, now in this case, I'm not too concerned about using margin, and that's not really the purpose of this video. So I'm going to focus on the short rate on the right-hand side, that short rate of 3.38%, and the short pool remaining. That's over 10 million shares. So this is telling me right now is that if I wanted to short Tesla right now, there are over 10 million shares that I can actually pull from to borrow and essentially go short. So there should be no issue in shorting Tesla, okay, for me. If I was a big institution, could be a different story, but you're probably not using the MooMoo app anyway, okay? Then the short rate of 3.38% is also crucial, so we're going to utilize that in just 1 second. So what we got right here is the short rate, essentially how much it's going to cost us to borrow the shares, because we got to borrow the shares. We're not just going to freely be able to short. We have to borrow those shares, and it's going to cost us something. Now, that 3.38% is actually calculated for the year, so it's not as bad as it may seem. And then, of course, how many shares we have. So if you're looking at like a penny stock, or let's say we go to like an AMC, for example. Let me pull up AMC. Up in the search bar, AMC. This could be a better example. Click on that top right, the shortable symbol right there. Boom, click on that, and here we go. So our short rate for AMC is 3.89, so slightly higher, I believe. And then we have a short pool remaining of 6.1 million shares. So there's less shares available in terms of AMC right now to short if we wanted to go with a massive short position. In this case, we probably are going to be just fine, and we're not going to even come close to 6.1 million shares. But now if you get to a stock and there's no shortable icon, well, you can't short it. So you need to check that first in order to understand, number one, the short rate you're going to have to pay in terms of each day, and then how many shares, if there is a problem, or is there even enough shares for you to go short, okay? That's pretty straightforward. Now, let's say I want to go back and let's just short AMC, right? Let's just use it as an example, okay? In order to short, it's the exact same way you would buy and go long, but you're going to short. And in just 1 second, we're going to talk about that short rate and calculating how much it's going to cost you each day to hold this short, okay? If I go to the trade button right there, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock my trading feature. And in this case, I can change my order type to, let's say, a market order, AMC. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to quantity, and I'm going to type in, let's say I want to go 5 shares, okay? I'm going to now click on sell. If I click on sell, it's going to give me this short selling risk reminder, okay? This is telling me that I am shorting the stock, and basically that I potentially could be subject to a forced liquidation, right? If I'm down huge on my short, and essentially it's up to them, and you want to read deeper into their terms and conditions. But essentially that's the gist right there. And if I am good with that, I can click on don't remind me again. So if I want to short again, it won't remind me, okay, of that potential forced liquidation. And I click on continue anyway, and it will go through and sell 5 shares of AMC at a market with a market order, and just like that. So what you may be looking for, and you may be comparing to, let's say, a Webull, where there'll be a button that says short. In this case, you'll just go and click on sell to open your position, okay? Now, to go short, you have to make sure you don't have any shares long. If you own 5 shares of AMC, you have to understand that if I was to do this, I'd only be selling 5 shares. But in this case, I don't own 5 shares of AMC. I own none. I'm flat. This will be opening up a short, and they'll remind me of that unless I tell them not to remind me in the future. And then to buy them back, all I'm going to do is go back through the same exact order entry. I'd be net 5 shares short. I would click on 5, and I click on buy, and just like that, boom, I'd be good to go, and I would be buying my AMC stock, okay? And I'd be buying it back to flat, okay? Now, I don't have to do that in this case, but if that's what you want to do and cover your short, that's how you would go about it, okay? Now let's go through that calculation in terms of now, okay, how much is it going to cost me each day to hold these stocks short? So we're back to this page, okay? We have a short rate of 3.89%, and this could change day to day. So you want to come back and check on this just in case there's some volatility there. And usually this rate's going to go up when there's more interest in shorting, okay? Okay, so 3.89% for AMC. Let's write that down. Now what I'm going to want to do to calculate how much this is going to cost me to hold this short each and every day, what I am going to do is I am going to take however many shares I bought times the current price. So in this case, it was 5 shares. Let's just round it to $16 per share for AMC. So 5 shares times $16 per share. That would result in an $80 short position, or essentially negative $80, that I ultimately want to buy back for less if I'm correct and the stock goes down. Okay, so now I have $80. I'm going to take that $80. I'm going to multiply that $80 times my short rate. Okay, so in this case, that 3.89% is actually 0.0389. That comes out to 3.112. But I'm going to take that 3.112 and I'm going to divide that by 365 days, okay, in terms of now holding this, because that short rate is actually for the year if I was going to hold this for a year. And now I'm going to get what it's going to cost me each and every day. And that number comes out to just under 1 cent per day if I wanted to short 5 shares of AMC with a 3.89% short rate. So you can see it's not that expensive, but when that short rate is 40%, 50%, dare I say, sometimes you'll see it even higher than that, over 100%. That's where it could add up, and you just need to make sure you do this calculation to understand how much it's going to cost per day. This is now per day, though. So if I was going to hold this short for a month, for a year, I have to make sure that I'm calculating this number and how much it's going to cost me so that if I'm looking to target a $15 target on AMC, right, that means I'm looking to make $1 per share times 5 shares short, right? I'm making $5. I need to make sure that this cost doesn't eat into my profit on the actual trade, okay? That's what you need to know. That is how you short shares, and that's how you short stocks on the MooMoo platform. We used the app right here on an iPad in this example, but it's very, very similar for the app on a mobile device, and it also is quite similar to the desktop platform that you can also use. If you have some other questions, we have some MooMoo videos already on the channel. We've got plenty where that came from when it comes to Webull shorting, if you want to learn how to short stocks on Webull. If you want to learn options, anything, a lot of that stuff will already be on playlists that we have here on the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up button. Hope you got something out of the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.